And the judge just said, take her down. Like, there was no chance I was going to get bail.
How was that feeling getting released from prison?
Petrified. Didn't want to leave. I actually remember ringing home and crying because of the shock that I was going home sooner. I kind of hadn't mentally prepared for it.
That happened to a lot of people.
Freaked out.
Yeah.
I freaked out. And I never expected to cry on the way out as I did on the way in. I can't believe it's took me to come to prison to turn my life around. And they said, no, but you could have still come to prison and still not done that. It's not going to solve all your problems, and it doesn't. We're human. Everyone's got day-to-day stresses. But for me, in that environment, it saved me. Prison saved me. Fitness was the making of me.
Welcome, Danneka.
Hi, Ellie.
How are you feeling?
I'm quite nervous. I am nervous, yeah.
Do you know what? It is normal to feel nervous, but you don't seem nervous. And
No.
I've not met you before, so I don't really know what to base it off. But if your friends were here with us, would they notice that
They would pick straight off.
Really?
Yeah, Danneka's on the spot here. Not the usual.
So obviously we're here to talk about your journey today. Yeah. I've never met you before, and some of my followers or listeners might have never heard of you and don't know anything about you. So could you give us just a bit of an insight into your life and why you're here today?
I certainly can. So I grew up in Coventry. Went to school, was raised by my mum. My mum and my dad separated when I was little. Still had a very good relationship with my dad.
Yeah.
4 younger sisters.
Wow.
Was kind of the oldest sister that had a lot of responsibility in the house with my mum. 2 kids there, 2 kids with my dad and his other partner.
Right, okay.
Growing up was hard. My mum struggled, but she did her best. I'm raised as well. I did have a lot of responsibility at home. Which probably led me to go out drinking and stuff at 16. I did finish school with my GCSEs. Went on, did college, things that obviously I'm not doing today.
What did you do in college? What were you learning?
I've done a MBQ level 2 in beauty therapy.
Right.
I think it was like the cliche thing back then. Everyone left and done that. And I've done level 2 and level 3 MBQ in nail technology, acrylics.
Okay.
Yeah, so I started working at Atlantis.
Yeah, is that
down
Ball
Hill?
Yeah.
Yeah, but I wasn't there very long. I couldn't stick at the Saturdays.
Okay.
Unfortunately, I kept ringing in sick, as you do when you're 18.
Yeah.
Went on, worked in finance jobs, in and out, customer service roles, just anything really. Had quite good jobs, well-paid jobs. And then, I think COVID hit, and I think everyone can relate, took people down mental health routes, which is probably what you're about to ask me for the latter part of this podcast.
Okay. So before we go into all of that, just a little bit in terms of you growing up, obviously having a lot of responsibility as the oldest sister.
Yeah.
Do you think going out and partying alongside anyone else that was 18 that was doing it, do you think you did it more as a bit of a release? Do you think it was the same as everyone else?
Yeah, definitely. I think I was following what everyone else was doing.
Yeah.
I mean, you can take a horse to water, but you can't make them drink it.
Yeah.
I loved partying. I went to Ibiza for 10 years straight. The minute I turned 18, I was there twice a year partying with everything that goes on in Ibiza, lack of sleep, drinking, partying, and whatever else comes with it. It was. I think it was a release, but I think deep down I wasn't happy. I think I was always, I even do it today, but I do it in a different way now. Right. I'm always looking for that dopamine hit or an endorphin release. Back then it was, let's go out and party because that's where I found it then.
Yeah.
I was always the life and soul of the party. It was the loudest in the room. I had lots of friends. I got on with everybody. There might have been a few that I didn't, but nothing in bad nature.
Yeah.
But I think for me, I was blocking a lot that probably I should have spoken about a lot sooner than where it's led me to today. I think I'm more open now to understanding who I am.
Yeah.
Rather than trying to be somebody that I really never really wanted to be. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
It was like I was trying to prove something and being stripped back to the last 3 years of my life of literally going from thinking you're flying high to hitting rock bottom. That made me realise that the bare minimum is everything, rather than having everything and believing you've got everything when really you're not. You're living a lie.
Wow.
Whether if it's drink, people take drugs. I'm guilty. I don't do it anymore, but I don't know. I think people mask a lot of their problems, which then leads to bad choices in life, which I'm now fully aware of as to what was going on this roller coaster life that I was living from teenager till I'm 37 now.
Oh, yeah.
I hate to admit that.
I'm
actually 38 next month.
Wow. Well, you look great.
Thank you.
Interesting that you say that sometimes we block everything out and we have a release or an escape. So it's going out, drinking, partying, taking drugs, whatever that might be. And talking about things maybe wasn't something that you would naturally, it wasn't your natural go-to.
I was completely shut down.
Right.
Even when my mum's we're like best friends. She was only 21 when she had me.
Right, okay.
But my mum was always that mum that would talk and understand. My mum was wild. She had her days, but she had 3 kids on her own. And like, even with my dad, I just completely shut off. I don't think I can still now regulate my feelings when it comes to my parents.
Okay.
I have this certain way of tracking back because I don't know how to regulate my feelings with my parents. So I can with my sisters or my best friend, but when it comes to my mum and my dad, it's like I done it when I was having counselling.
Yeah.
Where I was a couple of years ago, well, a year ago. We'll go into that. But yeah, I explained it in a way that I don't know how to open up or actually tell people how I really feel when it comes to my mum and my dad.
That's not that abnormal, you know.
No.
Now, I'm not saying that everybody's like it, but when it's not been your go-to, so if you've not always done it, if you've not always opened up and say, this is how I'm feeling today, this is the reason why.
No, it's not.
If you've always just got on with it, and
I think I've always tried to pretend that I'm the okay one.
Right.
I'm there for everyone. I don't need no one there for me.
Right.
But then when the shit hits the fan, you certainly know who you need and you remember who was there for you.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm with you. So we're now on a podcast and you're talking openly, aren't you, today?
Yes.
You're doing well so far.
Thank
you. So living a party lifestyle, you've gone from being a nail tech, then working in offices, finance.
A lot of office jobs.
Right, okay. And then having a blowout, going to Ibiza, weekends. That was
constantly.
Right.
Hit 25, switched it up to going to Dubai.
Oh, wow.
I think I outgrown the party scene slightly.
Yeah.
But Dubai is a different style of drinking and having girls' nights out than what you would in Ibiza.
Right.
I think most people could agree or relate.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just lived for holidays, worked for holidays, worked for them weekends out, weekends away. Yeah, that was basically my life in a nutshell until 34.
So what happened in COVID then?
COVID, I, believe it or not, was still living at my mum's. Me and my younger sister were there. My mum was always like away a lot. So yeah, we were working from home. I think that working from home and not having to commute to work kind of allowed you to drink alcohol freely.
Yeah.
I would literally look at the side of my bed, pick the laptop up on the morning, whether if I would had 2 hours sleep, 3 hours sleep, or 6 hours, or still might be drunk.
Yeah.
I made sure that laptop was open and looked like I was online, ready to start the day. And I think having that, no one there to micromanage you as such. I know you had regular Zoom calls and stuff, but Danneka being Danneka took advantage of things.
Right.
And in a nutshell, took the piss.
Right.
just to be honest.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Because you haven't got to go into the office.
No, I didn't have to go in.
No.
Even for a long time. And then we had to do like one day in.
Right.
As kind of like to see how they could get us back in. But I don't even think people do it now.
No.
I think a lot of it's still working from home.
Yeah. I think they try.
It's like you're not getting no one in
yeah.
now. I mean, how long ago was COVID? 6 years ago?
Yeah.
26 now. So, yeah, was it 21?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And people have now proven that, like businesses that hire offices, they've proven, well, what we're paying all this money for to get the staff in when they can all work from home.
Yeah,
so
that's it.
I do get it. How was your mental health in COVID? Like, if you were partying a little bit more than
it was
usual.
declining,
right?
Rapid. I was drinking a lot more. I wouldn't say I drank every day. COVID, obviously, when it first happened, it was like, oh, this is great, and then we had that really hot.
The hot summer.
Well, it was in February.
Yeah. The spring.
It was like early spring and we were all boiling, sat outside sunbathing with laptops. But yeah, from the very start of COVID 2021, I started drinking a lot every weekend, partying, made a few bad life choices, which led me to prison, as we're going to talk about.
Yeah.
I just feel like I was clouded by not living a normal life.
Yeah.
Thinking I was untouchable. But yeah, I think looking back now, I probably know that I wasn't okay then. I'm not fully okay now, but I know I've come a long way since what went on as to where we're sat here today.
And even being able to open up and talk about that shows how much further on.
It took me a year from being home in February 28th, just gone, where some of my actual clients that I PT, I hadn't even opened up to them about the prison side of things and just the whole criminal offence. I just couldn't begin to even admit it. Not that I was ashamed. I think I was still trying to regulate being home in the community and working with the community and trying to be a figure that people do look up to and want that guidance. Whether I don't just give guidance in fitness, I want to give people that one-to-one support. Like some of my clients come, some of them genuinely want to come for a chat and get out of working out, but they don't get out with that with me. I say we'll talk at the end. But yeah, just mental health purposes. I know what it's like to struggle. And I did do fitness prior to going to prison, but my lifestyle didn't reflect it. So I wasn't gaining anything from it. I was just basically wasting money.
Okay. So struggling in COVID, drinking a lot. How do we then get on to the next chapter of your life?
So, bad life choices made me make mistakes. I do regret them. Looking back now to where I am, I got arrested anyway. We'll start there. I got arrested on the 1st of April.
Right.
April Fool's Day.
Wow.
Wasn't my finest hour. I got pulled over by the police on the Saturday. By the Monday, I was remanded into custody, straight from magistrate's court. It's making me get emotional now thinking about it. Just being in one of them vans going, thinking like my whole world had just turned upside down. It was just something that I can't believe I didn't think it was going to happen. But I just actually sat there and I thought, do you know, the only person I thought of was my nephew. Because he was young and I haven't had kids myself. I just thought, I'm not going to see my nephew. I didn't know how long I was going to go to prison for at this point, and I was shit scared of telling my dad. I knew my mum would be fine.
Right.
Somehow word got out and they wouldn't let me ring anybody. So from the Saturday, I wasn't allowed to phone anybody till the Sunday. The Monday, I looked around in court and my mum was there, my best friend and her sister. And the judge just said, take her down. Like, there was no chance I was going to get bail. And doesn't sound very classy, but it was just basically you're done for. So, yeah, I went to jail on the Monday. I think I got there about, I'd say 5:30
PM.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'd been in court in the morning, remanded, and they drove me from York in one of them back of them vans with the little windows.
Yeah. The sweat boxes, basically, aren't they?
I was going to call it a paddy wagon. Sweat box or a paddy wagon. And I pulled up, and in my head, I was scared because you've only imagined prison what you see on programs.
Yeah.
So our age group, bad girls and stuff like that. And in my head, I was thinking, what on earth am I going to go into here? Like, I'm not saying that I couldn't handle myself, but I don't like that confrontation. I'm just like, I mean, it happens when you're out under the influence of alcohol, and you'll have like, I don't know, a bit of an argument or an altercation with someone, but I was freaking out, literally freaking out. I went in and I couldn't stop crying. And they only normally let you have one phone call when you arrive into reception. They just give me the phone. They were like, just do what you've got to do.
Just
ring
because
anyone.
you were so upset.
Ringing anyone. And
just on that, how did you have your people's numbers?
My mum's had her number for, God, as long as I can remember. My dad's had his mobile number since I was at primary school.
Because you don't get anything with you. You don't get an address book,
to be fair, my solicitor gave me a piece of paper with a few things on, but I knew my best friend's number off by heart. I knew her sister's. And then I knew my mum's and I knew my dad's.
Right.
There was
and
four.
then you could then ask
them. They were my four. I didn't know believe it or not, I didn't know my sisters, but I know my best mate and her sisters. So, and I remember it because the officer laughed at me the day I was leaving. She said, do you remember when you first come into prison and you asked to they do poached eggs? And I said, as if I said that. She said, yeah, and I give you my can of Coke. I hadn't ate all day Saturday. I hadn't ate all day Sunday. I hadn't ate all day Monday. Plus, I was dealing with going to prison.
Yeah, shock,
my whole
trauma.
world. Like, I don't think I initially knew what was going on till I tried to go to sleep on that Monday night. I think I was just in a sense of shock. I've got goose pimples now.
Just remember
it was wild. And I was on the induction wing. And
what prison's this then? So where did you get sent?
It was in Low Newton, in Durham.
Wow, okay.
So I was 200 mile away.
And Low Newton prison houses some pretty scary female.
Joanne Dennehy's in there. She's a life without parole. She killed 4 or 5 people. Rose West. She's been there. Tracy Connolly.
Yeah.
The baby P's mom. Yeah, she was there. I actually was in her old cell.
Wow.
Yeah, at Tracy Connolly's cell. I moved. So I was on the induction wing for 7 days or 10 days. And then I got moved over into the main jail. Wow. It was like a circus. I'd never seen anything like it in my life. But to give them a bit of credit, the food was better over there.
Okay.
And I remember the first meal I ate and it tasted like heaven, but I asked for salt and pepper and they laughed at me. I said, haven't you got no pepper? They went, we don't do pepper unless you buy it.
Yeah.
Obviously, I didn't know all this. And then, I had the lasagna and chips. And, I mean, it probably wasn't even nice. But, I needed that meal. They were actually worried about me. They were putting me on, there's a thing called an act where they're concerned for you.
And they come and do the checks
welfare,
on you.
And they do a regular hourly check. It can be an hourly one or they can have you on a constant watch overnight.
Yeah.
Luckily for me, I wasn't on a constant watch where I don't know how I wasn't suicidal. Because there was times where that journey, I did feel suicidal. I was on remand for 12 months, so I didn't know how long I was going to be there. I didn't know what I was looking at. My court cases kept getting pushed back. It was testing, really testing.
I think alongside that as well, like you got arrested, you then get took to a police station, you then get remanded. So you're not only dealing with the shock of being arrested, it's everything that then comes back to it. So then you go into court, then they're saying take you down. And then at what point were you thinking, I'm going to prison here? Was it straight away?
No, because my sister my solicitor allowed me to believe that I was going to get bail. I don't know why.
Right.
I don't know how he thought that either, but I just didn't imagine it. I just genuinely thought, I'm going home. Okay. I'm going home tonight.
Yeah.
And I had my own little flat. I've still got it now, thankfully. But I just couldn't believe that I was never going to go back home. At this point, I just thought I was literally gone. I mean, my mental health was all registered and logged on record with my doctors prior to it all. So it did have it played a part in, obviously, once I did get sentenced, that I come home a lot sooner than probably there was mitigating circumstances. But yeah, after 2 weeks, I was approached by the gym.
Right. Okay.
Sorry, in induction wing, they come to me and said, do you want to be inducted into the gym? And I looked at him square in the eye and I said, if I haven't got the gym, I'm not going to make it through this journey. Mm-hmm. And he said to me, even like after, because I had such a good like rapport with the gym staff, obviously, which is where I am today, but he said he looked at me and seen in my eyes like how much I was desperate. I didn't even know I was going to do the course at this point. I just thought I was being asked to get into a gym. And I just thought, I can do it, but I need the gym. Just because it can improve your mental health. Obviously, I hadn't ever done it the way I've done it now in the last 3 years. But I'm glad that I made that choice, because you don't have to choose that path when you go into prison. No. You can go down the rat race and get involved in all the wheelings and dealings and whatever goes on. I mean, do you know what? It's not a bad place when you're in there and you get, I don't know if you have to become familiar with the routine, because there was times where I felt content and I actually thought, for once know that this is the real me, without masking, being out and having something to prove. No social media, no phone, no mobile phone. I had a phone in my cell, but basic channels, do you know, like, I don't know, I feel like even when you meet like someone, if you're dating, you put on a front, they don't see the real you. Yeah. Whether, do you know what I mean? Yeah. Or if you meet new friends, whereas in there, you're stripped of everything. I had about 3 eyelashes onto my name. My nails were coming off. And you know what? At first, I was like, oh my God, I can't believe I'm not going to have a set of eyelashes on. Don't have them anymore. I actually have gone to natural look now, LVL. Yeah. But back then, that was the thing. I had eyelashes on for 4 years straight. The thought of ever not having a set on was like life or death. And that was the things that mattered. Going into prison, they didn't matter.
No. Because everybody's the same.
No, and you know what? Meeting people that hadn't even lived the life that I'd lived, it really humbled me. And I'm not saying that I thought I was better than anyone prior, but I probably have lived a good life compared to some people, and I never ever appreciated it. I took every minute of it for granted. And I wasn't spoiled either, but my dad did spoil me. But I was grateful and appreciative for the life that my mum and my dad provided me. But going in there, honestly, I just like went from being here to literally being grounded and thinking some of them like, and I didn't even really want to divulge on my stories on my holidays, but you'd put your photos up because it's all you had of your family and your friends, and there was holidays. And I'd just recently been to Thailand prior to the arrest for my friend Claire's 40th birthday. And the photos got sent in and they couldn't believe the photos that they were seeing. Yeah. And I just thought, all this time that I've been living this life and these people haven't even seen these kind of photos. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. And do you know what? I met some really great, down-to-earth, genuine people. 2 of them I still keep in contact with. One of them, she's just had a baby boy. Fantastic. She come home a year before me. We both said it was like we were 2 sisters that were meant to meet. Very similar backgrounds, lifestyles. She was unfortunate enough to go to prison due to a past relationship. And we just met. But looking back now, I'm not proud of going to prison, but I'm actually grateful for the whole journey and the person it's made me. And I'm not saying I'm perfect now. I'm not far by who I want to be, but I'm a lot further than I was than back in 2023 when I was arrested.
I think it does put things into perspective, as you say, like the life that you were living, that was just the norm for you. That was just your life.
I didn't know no different.
Yeah, and probably the people around you, your friends and stuff like that, that was probably similar sort of things. You know, you go on holiday, your friends will go on holiday, I'll go on holiday.
Yeah.
But when you, as you say, you are stripped of everything.
Literally.
You come back to earth with a bit of a bang.
Yeah.
So I went out on my social media and I like blurred out your face, but I said, this person's coming on. And somebody has asked, that first night that you landed at Low Newton, and because are they single cells there?
Yeah. Oh, right. Well, I made sure I was in a single cell.
Right.
I do suffer with OCD anyway.
Do they have doubles in there?
They do. They were doubling up, but I was lucky enough. I think the respect you give the officers, you get back.
Yeah.
So if you don't go in there and be a nuisance and be disruptive and bad behaviour and whatnot, then you kind of get a little bit further in there.
Yeah.
You get back what you give, really, don't
Yeah,
you? So,
100%.
Yeah. But yeah.
So that first night when you landed and the door closed, what was going through your head on that first night?
I'd let my mum down.
Right.
I'd let my dad down. My best friend didn't even know about what was going on. I was devastated that I hadn't even told her. And yeah, my nephew...
Is this the friend that was in court?
My best friend, right, yeah. She's like literally been my lifeline for the last... prior to prison. But yeah, she really stuck by me. Yeah, her and her family. And then obviously my family and my sisters and my mum and my dad, bless him. I felt like I'd let everyone down. The door shut and there was this blue mattress. And I wish I knew sooner. There was a hack that you tie the sheet underneath so it stays together. Yeah. I used to laugh at people that went Cubs, so I probably should have went Cubs, so I picked up a few little...
life skills.
Yeah, didn't even know how to do anything. But anyway, the sheet kept coming off. They give me a tablet. It was like, I'm going to say a night owl, but they give me something to help me sleep. I hadn't slept since Friday night.
Yeah.
This was Monday now. I was literally rapidly wasting away and obviously no sleep. I just was so broken.
Yeah.
The door shut. I remember, I don't know, there was some soaps on the telly, bearing in mind, give me 3 weeks into that sentence, I did not miss Emmerdale, Corrie, any of it. It was like clockwork. I lived for it, and now being at home, I don't get a chance, and it actually annoys me.
Yeah. Because it's just this simple.
Oh,
yeah.
It's literally routine. But I had, I think, £3 credit, and it went. And that phone, from going on the Monday night, I couldn't ring anyone till the Thursday, till my emergency canteen went on. Mm-hmm. But I had an emergency reception visit as well on that Thursday. So I had to go from the door closing on the Monday night, from Monday, Tuesday through to Wednesday. No contact with any family, no contact with no one on the outside. But there was emails coming in, so you can actually email a prisoner. Oh, God, they were coming in thick and fast. And I was just literally, I cried for 3 days until I seen my mum, my best friend and my sister, Derry.
So they came up?
Yeah, they drove up on the Thursday.
Wow. Okay. So you start to settle in a little bit. So you're on remand for a year.
How long? 13 months.
And then what happened? Like, and we'll focus on the prison thing, but how long were you in jail for?
24 months.
Wow.
Yeah, 2 whole years. Wow. I actually came home a year early, so I should have only been home 2 weeks ago. But because the prisons were overcrowded, Keir Starmer brought in a new early release scheme for, instead of serving 50%, you serve 40%. So, I mean, someone's looking down on me above because I literally got the early release scheme, and then they actually brought out the electronic tag for certain sentences up to so many years, which at first it was only 4. And then that got increased because obviously they couldn't cope with the capacity in all the prisons.
Yep.
So that was male and female institutes. So yeah, I landed on my feet with 7 months off of the 40% and the 6 months with the tag, which I wasn't impressed with when I got home.
So you didn't know that was going to be part of the
I didn't know I was going to get it until... No, I actually was given it. Right. I was eligible, but coming home and actually having it on, I wanted to die because it was really not the look.
What were your conditions? What were your times?
7 till 7. So allowed out at 7 in the morning, home 7 in the evening.
Right, okay.
Which was quite nice coming home because I got banged up in prison at 7 at night. So you got let out. So you'd get out in the morning, you'd go out on exercise, 8 a.m. call. Mm-hmm. If you weren't up, you weren't getting out. So you were up ready, waiting for them doors to open. It was like the door being open, is like an elephant getting off your chest. Right. Just knowing the doors open made you feel instantly better.
Yeah.
And then you'd have it, obviously on induction wing, I didn't have a job because I had to go and do maths and English and everything to make sure I was competent enough, which I was. But yeah, so then obviously after induction wing, you get out at 8, you go on exercise, you've got an hour for exercise to be out, you do your walk-in or you go out and chat.
Just on the yard? On
the yard, yeah. And then at 9 o'clock you'd go to work, so that my work was the gym.
So just on that, the people came to see you on the induction wing, said if you wanted to go to the gym, i.e. just be put down when they called gym for you to go and work out. Yeah. How did you then get a job in the gym? How soon was that? Because that's it's quite a respectable job in a prison to be in the gym.
And it's the most well paid.
Yeah.
I think they could see that I was up for it. I don't think you get many people in prison that want to choose that route. Right, I think they're all still on this roller coaster, which I get it because I was on it, but not in prison. Mm-hmm. But when I went into prison, I just thought, Danneka, sort your shit out.
Right.
Like, this is
straight away. Was that your mindset?
Yeah. Didn't think of anything other than I wanted to come out and prove to myself and my family and my close family and friends that I could make something of myself for once. Mm-hmm. So yeah, so that the 27th of April, I remember it. I went down to the gym and I started on the level 1. Right. So it's just your basic physical education, doing manual handling, an induction around the gym, how to plan and perform safe exercise, just like very basic. And that was in the April. And then I met my friend down there as well, who I've passed the level 3 diploma with in personal training. So we shared the same interest, and I found it quite warming to know that not everyone wanted to go in there and take drugs and they were all up to no good. Mm-hmm. So for me, she was like a lifeline. She'd also spent 13 years in there. So wow. I used to kind of get a lot of advice from her because I thought if she can do 13 years in here, then you've got this, Danneka. Like, you're not going to go through that. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. So yeah, and then we got on the level 2. We started level 2 fitness instructor. So that's like your gym floor level.
And was this the gym staff that were like putting you forward for this?
Yeah, they had to pay like thousands. The level 2 course for the fitness instructing level, I think it cost them like $5,000 for the 2 of us.
Wow.
And it weren't easy. I never thought my brain would get put to use ever. But I don't think I would have done it in a normal setting in the community because you've got too many distractions. In there, I was locked in. Like, my brain was learning how the heart works, the heart valves, the digestive system. Like, I actually thought I was training to be a doctor at one point. I did, but you know what? I found it so interesting.
Was it a healthy distraction for you as well?
Perfect,
like just to channel
because I literally was in the gym 6 days a week. There was classroom days, but I got to train 6 days a week for 5 hours a day. So you'd go down the gym 9 till 12, then you'd go and get your dinner at 12 from the dining hall, and you'd be out for about an hour. You'd get locked in at 1 because the staff had to go for their lunch. You'd get back out at 2, go to the gym till 4. You'd be out till about 4:30, let back out at 5, and banged in at 7 o'clock at night.
So 5 till 7, you're just on the wing?
That's association.
Right.
But luckily enough for me, I was on a wing that had air fryers, ovens, George Foreman's. I couldn't buy meat, but I used to cook. I used to cook for everyone. They were like, oh my God, this is amazing. Obviously, not a lot of them have got life skills.
Yeah.
I know I didn't go Cubs, but I could cook, and I was mad on cleaning. They hated me when I was on one. I'd like tell them all, like, we need to clean up. Like, this is minging. How can you sit at a table and eat this?
Yeah.
But we all got used to each other. It was like living in shared accommodation.
I know that Low Newton is considered, obviously there's not as many female prisons in the UK, is there?
No, not that I know of.
So Low Newton is known as
It's Cat A.
Yeah. So is that why you had the air fryers and the cooking stuff?
No, I think you get the opportunity to have it in other female institutes.
Okay.
But there's certain wings. So this wing was called Pipe. It was, let me remember it now, psychologically informed planned environment. That's what it standard for.
Right.
So this would kind of work alongside people that suffered with mental health.
Yeah.
Or like some of them didn't have a lot of life skills, that it would prepare them to obviously upon release have them skills, living in a shared accommodation, access to a washing machine, having to clean up.
Okay.
So we had the ability to cook. So I was cooking vegetable jerk curries.
And would this be you buying it on the canteen and then putting them together?
We'd all chip in.
Yeah.
You get your money drop, but obviously we took advantage and got the kitchen workers to steal meat out of the fridges.
Well, you got meat.
And we had a mate, and we used to call her Donna Chicken Knickers, because she'd come back with the chicken wrapped in anything she could get it out of the kitchen. So we'd have chicken. Like, it was a treat.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I mean, the dinners wasn't bad as a whole, what you were given there, but you should have seen me a year ago. I mean, I look a bit more nourished now. I was probably undernourished coming home. You don't get given the right nutrition. It's just anything that will fill you up. Pasta, carbs, not what I wanted to be in training. So I'd buy like pita breads, eggs, tuna, just getting sources of protein elsewhere. But I was a gym freak.
You've got to have the dedication in prison, though, to do that. Because as you say, the food that you are provided, because I've worked in prisons myself, so I've seen it. The food that they are given it's carbs, it's pasta, it's crap.
It's because they want to fill you up for longer, because we only got one hot meal a day.
Right.
And then they would give you your breakfast upon getting your lunch at 12 o'clock. So you'd get a piece of fruit and a bag of cereal. It was Kellogg's. But then by the time I got home at night, I was starving. If I hadn't made food, I was eating that cereal and fruit at like 9 o'clock at night watching my soaps. I ran like clockwork. I'd have cereal or I'd buy Weetabix. Like, obviously, I had the ability to buy stuff. But if you haven't got that money coming in or a good paid job, you are struggling.
Yeah.
And you are starving. And which is why they all argue and fight on a Monday when canteen come.
Well, on that topic, did you, during your sentence, have any trouble?
No.
Nothing at all?
Didn't once. Being in the main jail, coming over from induction wing, there was a few girls that didn't like the look of me and said that I was actually posh and well-spoken, which I laughed and said, if you had told anyone that back in Coventry, I don't think they'd agree. But yeah, they couldn't work out why a girl from Coventry was in jail in Durham.
Right.
So there were stories that got made up. But they blew over. And anything after that, I didn't actually argue with anybody. I kept myself to myself. Not even that in the sense that I was scared. I just wasn't there for drama.
Yeah.
I think a lot of the girls in there know each other from coming from the same cities or the same areas, or they're frequent visitors of the prison. Mm-hmm. So they're in and out constantly, so they know each other. But no, I kept my head down. I went to the gym. I adored the gym staff. Grant, he was my tutor. Honestly, I wouldn't have done it without him. and my friend Becky and my other friend Tiff.
Good.
I just stayed in the gym. I cooked, went back at night, door got closed at 7, soaps on, shower, hair masking, up in the morning. I was always the last one to get up. I'm not one for getting up in the morning. And yeah, I'd just have a couple of coffees, straight down the gym. So that was in April. And the second one, no, the following September, I was obviously getting fitter and fitter as I was in there. I ran a half marathon on the treadmill for domestic violence.
So that's a massive achievement in itself.
Yeah, and on a treadmill.
Yeah. Had you ever done like running before going?
Couldn't even run to the chippy.
Yeah. So this is like you're not only educating yourself in quite a high risk environment in terms of distractions. Like I imagine you would have had a choice to go down another route.
You could have, and I didn't. That's what a lot of the staff and the workers that were working closely with me, like the counsellor, they said, like, I was used to say when I was in that, I can't believe it's took me to come to prison to turn my life around. And they said, no, but you could have still come to prison and still not done that. I had good rapport with my key worker, the gym staff. I mean, the gym staff probably looked after me a lot more than they should have. I used to get bought like crumpets in and custard donuts and do you want anything? And I'd be like asking for electrolytes. Grant, fair play to him, would just give me his. They'd give us protein shakes. Just like, I think we were well respected, and being down there allowed me to take myself out of thinking I was in prison. I literally become kind of like a leader that they looked up to in the gym. Yeah. Because I got my head stuck in. I helped out with the level 1s. Yeah, I actually believed that I was like staff in the gym. I didn't actually have it in my head I was a prisoner.
But what more could you ask for? Do you know what I mean?
And do you know, I was even allowed to go in the office. Yeah. And like, Grant really, really, really had a lot of respect for me. Yeah. He even said it. He said in 27 years of his career, and he actually had to do a case study on me. Right. And he wrote something to me. I've actually got it on my phone. He said in 27 years of teaching, he's never once had anybody really be released from prison and in prison do the courses and everything and engaged and got stuck into the gym the way that I did. And I just felt like so privileged for him to say it, because he's worked up and down the country in prisons. But I thought 27 years, and me and my friend were the only two that qualified for level 3 in all female institutes in the last 20 years.
Congratulations.
So, I know, but...
No, but it is, Danneka, it is a massive achievement, because you have a choice. You can either just waste your days away, exactly, sulk and cry behind your door and really struggle about things, or you can go, actually, I don't want to return to the same kind of lifestyle that I was living before. So what can I do about that? And you absolutely took that with both hands by the sounds of things. So I'm not surprised Grant is proud of you, because it ain't that common.
No.
It isn't.
No, it's not. It is hard. And I get why some of them do go the other way. Yeah. Because I was a lot more understanding. Like, I used to get on some of their cases and, like, really try and, me of all people, trying to advise someone not to go down this route anymore was actually quite, like, eye-opening for me, really.
Yeah, it just shows how much you were dedicated to your
I was
different
just caring
future.
for them and trying to just allow them to believe that if I can come in and do it, then anybody can. I'm no different to no one, but you need to want to do it. And obviously some people just haven't got that little spark in their brain, but luckily I did this time.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah.
So you were in there for 2 years. Obviously you found a new purpose, a new passion, worked really hard for it by the sounds of things. Yeah. Obviously you then got sentenced. With the sentence that you got, I know that it was reduced to get you out quicker, but were you expecting that kind of length? How did that hit you?
In my head, I expected a lot less. It was like I just thought I was still living in La La Land. I don't think nothing had actually resonated in my head of the severity of it. So I was just clouded still. I hadn't had time to get my head clear. In them 12 months of being on remand, though, don't get me wrong, I was a lot clear-headed and level-headed and, like, more present.
Than you were on the outside?
100%. More present, like, and hitting the gym and just getting them natural releases of a dopamine rather than looking for it on a night out or... And even when I come home, everyone's still doing the same old. And I'm not going to say I haven't drank since I've been home, because I have. But by God, I wouldn't go back to the lifestyle I was living 3 years ago now.
What's changed? Why not? What's changed?
For one, I've found a passion in fitness.
Yeah.
I actually don't even feel like it's a job that I'm going to. I would love... I'm obviously helping a lot of people now, all my girls, but even just giving someone that, like, support that I could have needed prior to prison. If I can help anyone, then I know that I'm doing something right.
Yeah.
Because I wouldn't want anyone, not saying that their life choices would lead them to prison like mine did, but I just think if they can just be educated or given that additional support, some people haven't got it, or just even encouraged to try fitness to alleviate them problems. It's not going to solve all your problems, and it doesn't. We're human. Everyone's got day-to-day stresses. But for me, in that environment, it saved me. Prison saved me. Fitness was the making of me.
Wow.
So, yeah.
So you carried on with everything. You're still inside. You get sentenced. You thought you were going to get less.
Stupidly.
Did you have to go into court for that?
Yeah.
Okay. And
back in the paddy wagon. Sweatbox.
Back to York, or...
So back in York. Yeah, I was, yeah.
Right, okay.
Back from Lower Newton all the way to York Crown Court.
Wow, okay. So then you then get sent back again. While you were in prison, did, like, friends, family, did they come and visit you?
All the time.
Up there?
All the time.
Did they?
Yeah. By God, I ain't heard the last of it from Kirsty. No, we've had a joke. Everyone did. My mum, bless her, and my mum was struggling a lot with her health at the time. Not severely, but she's getting of an age. She's going through the menopause, which, yeah, we don't hear the last of that one. But no, my mum, my dad, my sisters, even my mum and my sisters, you'd have like a family day once every, I don't know, sometimes it would be in the kids' school holidays.
Yeah.
So whenever they were Easter, Whitsun, my nephew would come up, and it would be like very, not as formal as a normal visit, like a weekday visit.
Is there like they do
activities a buffet and food, and my nephew believed that it was my work. Auntie Nika's work.
So how old is he now then?
Rowan is 9. Is he 9 this year? Yeah, he's 9 in August.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. So at the time, 876, he was still 5. He was turning 6 in the August. I went to prison in the April. So I kind of missed out on them last years where he was still, before they grow up.
Yeah.
It's kind of like I went to prison, come out, and he was like, I seen him all the time, like as often as anyone could bring him up.
Yeah.
And my friend Kirsty, her sister Claire, she's got 2 little ones. We're that close, they call me auntie as well. So they would come and visit me as well, Sienna and Callie Ray. But yeah, everyone made an effort, especially Kirsty. She drove up twice in 1 week in the beginning.
So 4 hours, didn't
She
it?
was taking a day off work and coming on a weekend as well. And then my mum would come up as much as she could, my sisters and my dad. And then my friends, a couple of years. Do you know, I felt when I was in there that, not that I didn't want to see people, and I appreciated that they wanted to come and see me and looking out for me, but it's kind of like you don't want to go in that being gloated on and having to re-talk about things. Obviously you people that you see all the time don't keep going over the old stuff, whereas if new people wanted to come and see you, that
you'll have to explain everything.
Yeah, and I just I just couldn't be bothered. And it sounds ungrateful, but I just sent well wishes back and thank yous, and my best friend's come, and that's all I needed at the time.
Okay. So Talk to me about life now then. So you got released earlier than initially later than you hoped, but then earlier because you got a bit of time back.
I did.
How was that feeling getting released from prison?
Petrified. Didn't want to leave. I actually remember ringing home and crying because of the shock that I was going home sooner. I kind of hadn't mentally prepared for it.
That happened to a lot of people.
Freaked out.
Yeah.
I freaked out. And I never expected to cry on the way out as I did on the way in. And I genuinely didn't want to leave.
How much notice did you get that you were leaving?
So the February the 28th, I was released in 2025, so last year. So prior to that, it was the July 24. So I'd been, so I was arrested on 23, April 23, sentenced January 24. And then by July 24 was all these new things coming in. So, and it actually made me have to work faster on my course. I declined open prison.
Right.
Didn't want to go.
So you got offered it?
No, I got offered it.
Yeah.
I said no because I wanted to do my level 3. I thought of the long-term gain instead of short-term gain. What is it? Long-term pain, short-term gain?
Yeah, that one.
Or
That one.
But yeah, no. And my family were quite shocked, but I just thought I want to go home with a career in front of me. If I can put as much work as I did inside, I could only imagine what I had to give coming out and making something of it. Putting it all to practice. What's the point in doing it?
Well, that is exactly what you're doing now, and we'll get on to that definitely. But you were scared to come out. What were you scared of?
Life. Normal life.
Right.
The hustle and bustle of life. It's very fast paced. Being in there, all you've got to worry about is being ready in the morning and getting back and having a shower at night and eating. Just general life. Like, I was, as much as I hated being on tag, I did like it at first because it was my chance to just shut my door, go home. Yeah. And do you know, I find it weird. I actually don't sit in my living room. I go straight to my bed and sit in my room, put my telly on, put my electric blanket on. Not so much now. But I'm very still, I wouldn't say institutionalised, but I still try and mirror a routine of what I had in prison because I felt so calm. I didn't feel the person I was up till the age of 34. I felt like I was reborn and I had someone give me that one last chance to make something of myself, and not many people get another chance, and I feel I did. And that's why I want to prove to people around me that I will and I can do it, and hopefully I have to a certain extent.
And you are, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Some people don't get a second chance or another chance. Some people do and they don't take it.
No.
As your counsellor said to you in prison, same kind of thing. Like, yeah, it didn't need to take for you to come to prison for you to change, but you could have still come to prison and then still not changed.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
It just shows your character and your determination when you were ready to do so.
Yeah.
So you come out. What's life then like for you?
So I was home on the 28th, and then by the 17th of March, I was in between that time. So what's that, like 3 weeks?
Yeah.
I was approached by the local gym where I'd grow up in Binley,
right?
Fitness Factory.
Yeah.
And they said, come in, here's a gym. All you do is pay us the monthly payment. And run with two hands with it.
So you can then work from there?
I worked from there, not for them.
Right.
It's just they allow you to PT from there.
Wow, okay.
So created a business page, with the help of my sisters. They've both got business degrees. So me and technology at that time, I was just about using an iPhone again. I'd only been away from it for 2 years. And my sisters were laughing at me. I was like scrolling. And my sister took the phone off me. She went, "You look like Mum." But yeah, they created a business page for me. Got the logo and put it up that I was going to be PTing at a Fitness Factory. And I started on the 17th of March because it's my sister's birthday. And here I am now with about 25 clients
That's
that I
massive.
coach one-to-one. Don't get me wrong, it's tiring because I also try and put the work in training myself.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've heard of it. I train High Rocks.
Yeah.
So I'm quite into High Rocks. I train up at the Hybrid Training Club at Broad
Is that
Street.
in the rugby club? Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm actually under a coach there. There's a lady there. She's one of the co-owners of HTC.
Right, okay.
She is training me at the minute for specifics in High Rocks.
So have you done a High Rocks?
I have. I've done 2.
Okay.
I done my first one last October at Birmingham with my cousin. And then me and my sister, when I was away, I made a promise that when I come home that we'd do a High Rocks together. I wasn't meant to do the one in October. I kind of got lured into that one. But me and my younger sister, Derry J, we done the XL in London in December just gone.
Oh my God.
So we actually beat the time from my first one with my cousin by 5 minutes. So we shaved 5 minutes off. But yeah, I think we might have another run out this year until I go, oh my God, if I say it now, then it's definitely happening. I'm going to do my first solo in October in Birmingham because it'll be to mark a year of my first one.
Yeah, fab.
So kind of like a celebratory moment.
Yeah. Celebratory.
Celebratory.
I think. I don't know. Fab. Okay, wicked. 25 clients then, that's a lot. And what do you do then? Do you do their fitness plans and you
so
PT them in the gym?
Some of them just want to come for that one session. So it's just a single session. Or you can provide a program. So it's an actual tailored program where you'll work as many times as they want to work within that week.
Yeah.
You basically ask them what they can afford, affordability, what's manageable for them, what's their lifestyles like, eating habits, everything. You go through it all consultation-wise. Some of them want a 6-week plan. Some of them want 8 weeks. Or some of them actually just want to come just to gain the knowledge and confidence to then just go on and be able to not have that gym anxiety.
Yeah.
So a lot of them tell me outright, I can't train without you in my ear. And they said, I know, I can't believe I'm saying it, but they said I wouldn't be training at the level I am. So I think even me, I actually have a coach. Even coaches have coaches. Yeah. So it's like the accountability side of it. If someone's holding you accountable, like they know that they've got to come to me on whatever day they're booked in. If they don't, they're in for it. But do you know, it's all mindset.
Yeah.
And it's what you want to get out of it, really. Like I kind of offload to my clients about what it does up here. For me, prior to prison, I was always concerned about what I look like, the aesthetic look.
Right.
Obviously, I was partying, but I used to train 3 times a week at Red Corner with Paul Hudson.
Right.
But my lifestyle didn't reflect, so I was just going training 3 times a week to go out and party all weekend or look good for a holiday. Whereas now, okay, it's nice when you get the wins and you see the results. But for me, training is everything for up here. Mindset first, physical comes after. Work on your mental health first. Physical health is always going to come with it, regardless.
And it is such a common thing that people say when it comes to fitness and mental health and mindset that they go hand in hand.
It does.
I had Anna Lewis on the podcast and she said
I know Anna.
She did a really good statement and she said, like, People get nervous to go in the gym.
They do.
And people think that people are looking at them in the gym.
I've had to go out and meet people outside of the gym to walk them in.
Because they're too
Because
nervous.
they've got anxiety. Yeah. It's like the thought of walking in freaks them out.
Yeah. But Anna said, I can guarantee you that the people in that gym are not looking at you. They're probably looking at themselves and focusing on themselves and what they're working on. Because the people that are working on themselves are the happiest about themselves because it helps their mindset.
It's a community as well. I mean, the gym at the Fitness Factory, we're like one big family. I mean, without their support and guidance, they're great, the owners at the Fitness Factory. yeah, it's like everyone in there. And do you know, it's weird because I don't even know some of the people's names that train in there, but you go in, hi, yeah, you all right? How are you? And like even my clients now, when they come in to now, even they're saying hello to the people, you know, that train at the same time.
Yeah.
And it's just such a good feel. Even some of my clients, like some of my best friends will message me and say, oh, I love watching so-and-so's journey. It's lovely to see how much better she's got. And, you know, the transformation. But gym community is by far the community. It's they say at the minute that alcohol purchases are going down. Not many people are going out no more.
Especially not younger. Like
you wouldn't be able to go out and party and pay for High Rocks tickets.
Generation.
High Rocks tickets are expensive. Cost a fortune. But you know, yeah, they're like £100. Then you need new trainers. Then you need a new outfit.
Yeah.
Then down in London, we have to pay for a hotel, food, travel expenses. It's an expensive game. But I'd rather invest in doing that and paying expensive than, I'm going to say go on holiday. I can't go on holiday at the minute because I'm on licence.
Yeah.
But yeah, just wasting your money. No one's saying don't go out and have a good time. You're only human. You have to let your hair down. But do it in moderation or do it when it's necessary, not because you're trying to block things out that are not going well in your life. Because you're not going to wake up and they're going to be gone. It's going to feel a whole lot worse.
Great statement. So with you now then, having this sort of definitely healthier outlet for things and your mindset, if you're struggling, because I remember you saying like you've come a long way, do you still get down days? Yeah. And how do you deal with them if you do?
At first, I didn't want to share it on Instagram, but talking to my sisters and the way that social media is these days, my audience that I am targeting, now I'm even open about the prison side of it, whereas before it was just a life-changing experience led me to this page and this is why we're here. Right. Whereas I only opened up about it, a year ago then, a month ago.
Yeah, radio thing.
I did, yeah, for the National Prison Radio. So, I just basically reach out and let people know. Like, I think I put a post up one day last week, maybe the week before, saying my life's not all sunshine, fitness and roses. It's not. And maybe some people look at me and think, oh God, she's working out again. Sometimes I'm working out to make myself feel better because I'm having a bad day when I wake up in the morning. But sometimes you think, oh God, I ain't going to the gym today. I can't be arsed with it. But for me, I know that will serve its purpose.
Right.
If you can get up and out in prison every day and wake up in them four walls and know that that was going to help me, then surely it's going to do it for you on the outside. And that you've just got to have that determination and you've just got to know when you don't go to the gym, you're going to beat yourself up about it.
Yeah, you're going to feel guilty.
You're going to feel shit.
I really could have gone
And that was the old Danneka. I would go out on a Friday or a Saturday, get in Sunday morning. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, I wouldn't go to the gym and I'd hate myself. I'd be eating rubbish. And then it has a domino effect. That from the night out that you're trying to block out whatever you've got going on in your life that's not going very well or stressed or relationships or you fell out with your mum, you fell out with your sister. You go out on that night out, you spend a fortune. You wake up. Sometimes you don't wake up. You just get in the morning. Yeah. Then you eat rubbish all day. Then a Monday morning comes, you're trying to get up for work. You still feel shit.
Yeah.
Tuesday, Black Tuesday, you're still feeling it. Wednesday, they used to say was suicidal Wednesday.
Yeah.
Thursday, you feel okay again. So you think, oh, I'll go to the gym. Friday, oh, I feel good today. Straight back to it, Friday or Saturday night.
Yeah.
It's a revolving circle.
Yeah.
That until something happens in your life, I don't think I would have got out of it if that didn't happen to me. I genuinely don't believe it.
One of our listeners also asked, so one of the questions was, normally I have to double check, but I know them now. Okay. Said, if you could go back and change anything, what would you change? So obviously I would imagine you'd change the whole thing, but if there was anything that you could go back and do differently, what would it be?
Probably have not gone down the route of the party scene at a young age because I feel like it consumed me
Right, okay.
But I think I probably should have opened up more about my mental health. I probably shouldn't have tried to put on the big front that Danneka is all okay. She doesn't need any help.
Yeah.
And I think that comes from a lot as well of taking responsibility at home with my sisters. I always wanted to be, my mum would say, rule the roost. I wanted to be in control of everything. And as long as that I felt I was in control of everything, I didn't see a problem. But really, there was a big problem. And I was masking everything. And I didn't understand a lot of that until having the psychologist.
So maybe, yeah.
In prison.
Yeah.
And I had all the help working with counsellors and doing mental health courses and rewiring your brain to think differently and not go into past traumas or knowing what triggers you. If you know what triggers you, then going into like, I don't know, a certain environment. If I went to Ibiza now, that would trigger me and think, oh my God, you're going to be off your face in about 30 minutes.
Yeah, yeah.
So I probably wouldn't go there. Or if I did go there, I'd know that this is my way to do it differently. You can do Ibiza differently.
Yeah.
My sister actually is contemplating doing a hen do there, which scares me a little bit. But I think I'm a lot more mentally grown now as a person as opposed to the 34-year-old Danneka. And I know it doesn't sound very long, but 2 years of being away on your own, I had a lot of time to think, to speak to myself. And you're actually taught that through counselling, to wake up and greet yourself good morning in the mirror, and you speak to yourself in the mirror how you want to portray your day to go and how you would like to be spoken to and how you would like to speak to others. And it's all about rewiring and having a different approach and a different mindset and knowing how to deal with the situation if you're triggered.
I couldn't agree with you more. I think the advice that you have been given while you've been away, you have absolutely took that. The gym stuff, of course you have, because look at what you're doing. But like the counselling, the psychosocial kind of stuff with the psychologist, and I can tell that you've took it on board. You've listened to them.
I couldn't be more grateful and appreciative of the whole experience of prison. It is proven you can be rehabilitated.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say I was a criminal. I made a bad decision. It led me to there. But I think God had a plan. And God thought, right, she needs to go. And he's given me that chance, like I said. Yeah. I've had an opportunity and I have took it with two hands, and long may it last.
Well, on that, what is like the future looking like for you then? So like next 5 years, for example.
So I've recently just been to a prison conference.
Right.
I was invited back to go and speak about my story with all of the PEI staff. So they're all gym staff within male and female institutes up and down the UK. I was invited up to, where did I go? Leeds, Headingley Stadium. And from there...
But they just get in contact with you then? How do they find...
The regional manager, Paul Bruce, he used to come into our prison, but he oversees, he is like the main guy. And he asked Grant to get in contact. Could he contact me? Because Grant is obviously, I keep in contact with Grant.
Yeah.
And he knows everything about what I'm doing and events, fitness events, anything that I've done, he knows, because I feel like he's like my little guardian angel and he's still there for me. So I went up and spoke, and believe it or not, I have been asked to, I'm going to say, I think it might be like a prison advocate, to go back and speak.
Amazing.
And basically tell people my story, and that if you put your mind to it and you want it, then if I can do it, you can do it.
Yeah.
If I could help one person going back in, obviously I'm helping people here, but people in that situation where my experiences led me to, I'd love to help even one. So my first one, I'm going back to Low Newton, which I'm waiting for a date, which I've been asked. He said to me, where do you want to go? And I said, I'd love to go back to Low Newton and share that success and hopefully reach out to at least one prisoner that's in the situation that I once was.
Fantastic.
Yeah. So.
And my advice to you on this one, just keep going.
Yeah.
Because some people are like, all for it while they're in there. When I get out, I'm going to do this. When I get out, I'm going to do that. You've carried it on. You've made it into a career, which is what you're doing now. But then there's like the dribs and drabs of like this kind of stuff, which is creepy.
Yeah.
Like you've done a podcast, you've been on the radio.
I know. And I haven't even launched it officially yet. I am making that transition to online coaching.
Okay.
Obviously, I'm new to the industry, so I am learning a lot from others around me. My coach, she is like a star. She tells me straight when I'm having a moment in my own head, like, that's your worst problem, is you in your head. Sort it out. She'll give me tough love, which I appreciate.
Yeah.
But yeah, so the online coaching app is my next thing that I would ideally like to take off. It reduces gym floor time. I do love the gym floor. I love the one-to-one coaching. I wouldn't do away with it altogether. Probably a lot of my clients would say, I can't train without you anyway, so they wouldn't transition. But yeah, I just hope that I can reach out to people suffering with mental health, and I'm only on the other side of my inbox on Instagram whenever anybody does want to ask me anything, or if they're going through a rough time, I'm there. But yeah, I just want to continue the fitness life, PTing, and I'm always wanting something better out myself. I'm out running bloody miles.
You were on a run this morning, weren't you?
I ran the Cov Half Marathon last year.
Right.
So I done that.
You got out?
Yeah, in the April. My friend lost her auntie to cancer in the October prior to me coming home. So I ran it for Myton Hospice with my other friend Leanne. It was her mum that passed, but her and Kirsty, her cousins, we ran it, yeah. So I ran that, and then I'm doing the High Rock Solo this year, which I really need to get my head around. But I'll do it.
Well, I believe you.
Yeah.
I believe
I was out running this morning. I
Yeah.
ran because I woke up this morning and felt like I was going to a job interview. And I was trying to work out my scenario questions. I was thinking, oh my God, what am I going to do?
And
But
now that you've done it, how do you feel?
I feel a lot better. My
Yeah.
heart was going a million miles an hour.
You couldn't tell. But
Really?
again, I've not met you before, but
No.
you hid it really well.
No, it's been lovely.
Yeah.
And believe it or not, I did actually see your podcast page when I first got home. And I actually thought, oh my God, I wonder if she'd ever want me on there. And now I've done it, I just feel like, I don't know, it's like a pleasure for you to have me on here and
Honestly,
to tell such a story that I once probably was ashamed of. But now I hope that people understand what it's took for me to get where I am today. I know I was stupid and I wasn't proud of what I've done, but by God, I'm proud of the person I am today.
And that is the most important thing, because otherwise, what are we living for? If we dwelled on every bad mistake
I've done the
we've
pity
made.
party of going over, oh God, why have I done that? And then crying about it, drinking about it.
Yeah.
You have to take it with two hands, put your big girl pants on and get on with it. And just speak, open up, don't bottle everything up. You're not Superwoman or Superman. You have to speak and people can help you. A problem halved is a problem shared.
Yeah.
And that's what I've learned.
The aspect of that which is really important from your side of things, talking.
Very.
And I mean for you.
Yeah.
So keep doing what you're doing, but keep working on, this is advice from me to you, and I was bad for it before I learned out the tools to how to do it. If you're struggling or bottling things up to save face, learn that it's okay to speak. I'm talking about your family because you say you're still working that one out.
With my mum and my dad, don't know what it is.
It's really
like
common.
even if there's something medically wrong, it's like my sisters can give my mum that attention, but I go within myself and worry, but don't want to let anyone know I'm worrying.
Yeah.
And then I feel like my mum will think, oh my God, you don't care, but I do. It's just, I don't know how to regulate that emotional feeling of worry.
It potentially, because I know like this much what you've told me, but you had to have all of that responsibility.
I did. And so then going away, I think being on my own, I mean, I wasn't on my own, I had support, but I really could never be alone prior to prison. I lived, if it meant me staying in on my own, I'd rather go out and get absolutely atrociously drunk.
Yeah.
But now, being alone in prison, I actually enjoy my own company.
Yeah.
And I love it much more than anything. And it's like, that for me is powerful, knowing how needy I was prior to prison as opposed to now. I'm no longer that needy Danneka. Might still in ways, it might creep out.
We all have
but I really enjoy my own company. I love it.
It might be because you've got to know who you are.
Yeah, I now know who I am.
Yeah.
And it's quite a calm feeling inside to wake up and just feel clear-minded. And that's not every day. But the days that are good, I take them. And the days that are bad, I know how to regulate myself through it now, through fitness and talking.
Well, this has been an absolute pleasure, genuinely. Like when we were chatting about you coming on the podcast, I've been so excited because especially when you shared about your story and the radio that you did, and I watched the reel and I was like, yeah. I think just from
that took a lot. This has took a lot.
Well, it's scary. It's new. You're literally opening yourself up.
And it's kind of like you're no longer worried about people's opinions because I'm only human.
Yeah.
And it's a story shared. And whether
Yeah. I am a massive believer, even with me starting up this podcast, I say it all the time, like what advice would you give to someone? And it's like, stop caring what other people think about you.
And that was my problem.
Because if you did that, right, if you got out of jail and thought, oh my God, I'm going to bury my head in the sand, people might know what's happened to me, they might not, but I'm not going to talk about it forever.
No.
You wouldn't have then gone to the next level.
No, because I still would have been sitting in self-pity and worrying.
Yeah, you wouldn't be on the radio, you wouldn't be on a podcast.
No.
But not listening to other people's opinions...
It doesn't matter as long as you're happy.
Really important.
And, exactly.
Because if I did it, I'd think... I might think, I'm not going to start a podcast because it might flop. People might think, what's Ellie doing?
No.
And then I wouldn't have done it.
Just keep doing you, exactly.
So you keep doing it for you as well.
Thank you, Ellie.
But honestly, it's been a pleasure.
No, it's been a pleasure.
And you keep talking about things and helping other people.
There's exciting things coming.
Yeah.
So who knows? I might be able to come back and share them with you.
Yeah, I would love that.
Very soon.
What are your socials, just if people want to...
5-star fitness.
5-star.
All one word.
5-star fitness.
Nothing in between, just 5-star fitness.
Right, okay.
That's my page. You'll see me doing crazy workouts.
Yeah,
5-6 days a week. Boxing, running, high rocks, weights, anything. Anything fitness on there, mainly cardio.
Okay.
So...
Fab.
Yeah.
Well, what I'll do is I'll link your page anyway in the show notes on this. And if anyone's interested in working with you, 100%. What do they do? Just send you a message?
Drop me a DM and I will be there on the other side of the inbox.
Fabulous. Well, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you for listening to another episode of the You Look Happier podcast. If you are listening to this, please feel free to follow us on our socials, you_look_happier. And if you're watching it on YouTube, please click like and subscribe.